In last week's episode, we made it to Portuguese, where my parents visit us for a week. We explored our first Spanish ria, the Ria de Muros in Noia, and had the possibility to rent a car from the harbour office to go to Santiago de Compostela. Our friend Nora told us what her experience was like walking the French path and why so many people do this pilgrimage. We passed the Isla de Salvora and our way to the Ria de Arusa and ended up in Vigo, where we spent a couple of days exploring the beautiful city.
We are here on the Islas de Cies, and this is actually very interesting here because these islands were carved by the water, and there has been a lot of erosion and also tectonic changes that made these rocks or formed these rocks on the islands. Over here you can see Roda's Fault. That's the place we were just at. You can see two tectonic movements in different directions. The southern one to the left, the northern one to the right, or the other way around exactly. This is the southern part, this is the northern part. had a really yummy barbecue with solo sailor Jan that we had met in La Coruña before and his Dutch friend. When we woke up the next day, it was really foggy and rainy, so we decided to continue. In the afternoon, we approached Viana, where we stayed for one night. Lisa and Julius had been a bit overwhelmed by the Atlantic waves from the Islas de Cies and weren't really sure whether they wanted to give the 30 miles to Viana do Castelo in Portugal a try, being afraid of seasickness. The next day, both of them said, "Okay, let's do it." So off we went. After 1.5 hours, we realized how Ilya and I had already got used to the harsh Atlantic swell, giving our guests big troubles. They were both really fighting seasickness, so we turned around to make them feel better. The following day, we decided to split up. Lisa and Julius had a little transport adventure, crossing the border to Portugal on land, while Ilya and I faced up to Mother Nature's forces out at sea.
Thumbs up for the next frog.
Hopefully not.
It's coming for sure. This is ocean sailing! Hard stuff!
Okay, what we have here, we thought we were in the south. This is actually hail coming from the sky. Portugal, here we go. Both of the teams arrived just after the sun had set in Viana do Castelo. We had to tie up backwards with our stern and bow being held by a weight fastened to a long line underwater. This was quite tricky as the wind was blowing from the side, and we also had to focus on not getting the long line also fastened to the jetty into our propeller in the pitch black night.
Wann war denn die Zeit des Verkochen?
Ja, danke. Wie frio. Sim, é tão vicioso. couple of days in Viana to Castelo, enjoying quality time with our friends, and then gave them a ride to the airport in Lisbon with a rental car, which gave us the opportunity to make a stop at the place that receives monster waves of 20 meters height and more during the stormy season. Just before the Praia de la Norte, with its lighthouse Farolim de Nazaré, an underwater canyon funnels the swell waves, increasing them immensely in size. Having had a look at our charts, we measured that from the canyon's open entrance to mean sea level at the beach, the water has 27 nautical miles, around 50 kilometers, to funnel into giant monster waves. At the entrance, the canyon shows a depth of 2,272 meters below sea level. Numerous surfing records have been set in Nazaré, riding the giants which are displayed in the building below the lighthouse. The courage these people have to go out there cannot be described in words, as some tries have taken their toll. On here.
Now, haircut. Viana already cut my hair once before, and she said like, oh, no problem, I did it before on my brother, on my mother, no problem at all. And I thought like, okay, she's a super pro, and then I got a Fukuhila. Vorne kurz, hinten lang.
You didn't get a Fukuhila?
Let's see what it's gonna be today. Oh, like new again.
Can you turn around? Just have to shave your back a little bit here. Yeah, here's a little bit more that we still have to do, but otherwise...
Yeah, professional hair cutter on board.
Beautiful man. Everything all right, Ilya?
Yes, this is so exciting. We are on I think you call it keel bank. You go on high water on this thing, and then when the water goes down, your boat stays there and falls dry. And we thought like before going to Madeira, we just clean the underwater shit, because maybe then we're a little bit faster. I don't know. So let's wait for maybe 3 hours and see what happens. What will happen. Yeah, today in the morning at 6 o'clock it was high tide, so we up here with the ship during the high water, and then prepared all lines like normal mooring. If you go alongside, like 2 springs, 1 forward line, 1 aft line, and most important line was the one to the mast, that the ship cannot fall down to one side. And Yeah, but everything went really, really well, and Thula was staying on her keel, like straight forward. I expected that she will go a little bit more to the side, but she's standing there very good.
Iliad, you look like a small boy. What are you doing? Iliad?
Cleaning! I like cleaning.
It was very easy to get Thula clean, as there was only a small layer of soft algae sticking onto the anti-fouling. We had already seen lots of keel banks in Great Britain before, not really sure what to think of it, also ecologically. Because of this, we at least tried to use the softest water pressure installation and clean the dirtier parts with a cleaning cloth and a bucket. Having been surrounded by water from the top and from the bottom for over 5 hours, we were both quite tired and cold. Nonetheless, we needed to get off that keel bank, for which we only had around 30 minutes. After a quick shopping tour, we rushed back to Thula. We had to push Nani, the engine, really hard to get Thula off the keel bank. Finally off it, we breathed out heavily because the general tide level was going down due to the moon phases. At the jetty outside the harbor, we then prepared everything for our night sail to Madeira, and off we went into the Atlantic Ocean. It was nice to have you on board again, joining our adventures along the Portuguese coast. Like in Spain, we witnessed the Atlantic's power once again with a hailstorm, lots of wind and rain, as well as underwater canyons funneling water masses that can create monster waves. If you'd like to find out more about our adventures, have a look at the given websites through which you can also support us. Até logo!